Welcome back everybody to the channel. It's me, Alejandro Mendoza, or the Nerdy Chicano. Either way how you say it, it's all good here. And we're back again for another video as we conclude our journey through Martin Scorsese's World Cinema Project number 3 from the Criterion collection. Today we're going to be concluding this journey by looking at the Iranian film from director Behram Beyazi, Downpour. Of course, I hope that this video finds you all well and happy, healthy, safe, and in good spirits. I'm very happy to be concluding this set here. It's been a really good last couple of weeks looking at all these films from different countries, but of course all good things must come to an end, and I'm proud to be finishing up this one, and hopefully when sales come around I can pick up the other two numbers because I really did enjoy this set. But of course, if you have not, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel, especially if you like content about physical media. Leave a like on this video, and when you're subscribing, also make sure that you click that notification bell so you don't miss a single piece of content drops on the channel. Also, if you'd like to lend an extra helping hand, you can also check out my Patreon at patreon.com/thenerdychicano, and you can get exclusive access to video essays or early access to videos just like this one right here. Without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about this film. So it is old and it did take a lot of restoring to do. But of course, before we get into any of that, along with my thoughts on the film, let's go ahead and read this intro, and then we'll look at what's in the film itself, and we'll go from there. Downpour. With brash stylistic exuberance, this first feature from Behram Beyazi helped usher in the Iranian new wave. When he takes a job as a school teacher in a new neighborhood, the hapless intellectual Mr. Hekmati finds that he is a fish out of water. Shot in luminous monochrome and edited with Quicksilver invention, Downpour, which has been painstakingly restored from the only known surviving print, captures with puckish humor and great tenderness the cultural conflicts coursing through Iran at a pivotal historical moment. Included in this edition from the Criterion collection, you get a new restored 4K digital transfer undertaken by the World Cinema Project in collaboration with the Cineteca di Bologna, with uncompressed monaural soundtracks on the Blu-ray, a new introduction to the film by World Cinema Project founder Martin Scorsese, and a new interview with director Behram Beyazi on Downpour. That's all that's included in this edition from the Criterion collection, and I did watch the introduction from Martin Scorsese, and I was pleasantly surprised to hear some of what Scorsese was saying. He brought up that this is a very old film that had been really damaged, so they had to go ahead and restore this. But also some interesting stuff that he brought up were the fact that the subtitles were actually burned into the film, and that was done by Beyazi himself. But I also really was interested in the fact that this film is from pre-revolution Iran, and especially, you know, Scorsese says something that I think rings true for not just this film, but for Iran in general. He said this is a testament that something that was damaged and broken can be reborn again and can be made stronger. And I think that that is a great message, not just for this film, but for the spirit of Iranian cinema and the Iranian people's struggle in their country. Nonetheless, when it came to Downpour, I was sadly disappointed by this film. And I will say that, you know, transfer aside, cinematography was fantastic. I thought that the music was beautiful. I also thought that the performances were not bad at all. I think they were good. But really what held back this movie for me is the pacing. I mean, this movie is 129 minutes long, and I have watched movies that are longer than this that are paced better. This movie is incredibly slow to the point that it really lost not just the attention of the viewer, but I feel like it loses the attention of its story at the same time. I felt like story threads were just kind of dragging at points, and they were just they were just meandering to the point where I was waiting for this movie to finish up because I couldn't, you know, handle more of what was going on. I mean, it was just a lot to follow, and yet it doesn't. What I'm trying to say is that Downpour's pacing does not match its story. It's a movie that takes too much time, it meanders, and it allows these stories to just overstay its welcome. And I understand that we're examining not just the cultural difference here, but also the view of education in Iran, the view of, children and how they grow up. All of these make for such interesting themes that we can explore within Downpour, but the pacing is really what carries it on its weight and really drags it along for those whole 129 minutes where it was just painful to sit through it and wait for this thing to end. Of course, also it is really important to note once again that the movie's subtitles are burned into the actual film, and there are moments in this movie where words aren't even shown on screen, like they're speaking, and some of it is not translated at all. So it makes me feel like I'm missing out on parts of this story because I was left just confused as to what they're saying and if it's serving a point to the story. Now, I'm pretty sure it probably didn't, because if then Biazi would have just translated it, right? But when it comes to the actual film, it's really distracting to not have subtitles there for everything that is being spoken. It's what I also complain about when it comes to Fellini's Satyricon, where, there was parts of Satyricon that just are not subtitled at all, and they're obviously speaking a different language. So it makes me feel like I'm missing out on something, and it could also be the fact that those extra dialogues that aren't subtitled are adding a little bit more context to our story. But even though I didn't like this movie, I do appreciate it, and I really did enjoy being able to experience this, even if it means that I didn't really enjoy the film. I enjoyed the experience of looking at the film that really does open the doors to Iranian New Wave, because some of my favorite films are from the Iranian New Wave movement. And I gotta say that Downpour really it let me down, but I still wouldn't categorize it as a major disappointment, because let me tell you, this transfer is good. I mean, when I read the transfer notes and I saw that they had put 1,500 hours of work into this restoration, I was expecting to see some good quality in this film. And I can tell you, my friends, Downpour's restoration is very much worth it. It looks really clean, and you can tell that they really went in there to repair the damage, because it brings up in the transfer notes that there was a lot of damage made to the film, like scratches, splicing, and when you watch it, honestly, it's like if you're looking at a brand new film. It looks great. I don't have any complaints about the video presentation. I think that the contrast is balanced. The brightness is also balanced as well. Everything looks presentable. It doesn't look like your highest point of reference here with resolution, because of course, even though I watch this on a Panasonic 4K player on my TCL 4K TV, it is still a Blu-ray disc, and it is going to play a bit upscaled. Now, does it need high resolution like 4K to really bring out some of these great qualities? No, because it did just well with what we were given here. They really went in there, they took care of this print, and they were able to get a good look out of it. And that's really what counts to me. It looks good, the grain isn't too persistent, it's still the right amount of grain, and I've got to say that for a movie that was pretty much damaged and what they thought was beyond repair, it looks really good, and it makes me really excited to see another film from Iran that he pretty much pulled out of extinction and put it in the next set in number 4. But when it comes to the video presentation of Downpour, I gotta say it was fantastic. Same thing goes for the audio, y'all. I can't have any complaints about the audio. Of course, I remind you all that I don't have a sound system. I watch this on my TV, so I'm gonna get a basic sound track here, and I'm not gonna really hear anything crazy. But from what I was able to listen to, I gotta say it's good. They used these same magnetic tracks, so they were able to clean that up. and it's not overly complicated, and it's not a damaged audio track. It sounds good. It's good enough for me, and honestly, as long as there's no hissing, as long as there's no scratching and anything like that, I'm pretty much okay with it. So when it comes to the Downpour audio track, I can also say it's pretty good. I especially like the way how it was balanced with the score, because the score can also be a bit powerful throughout this film, but because it is balanced with the dialogue and the sound effects, it makes for a good audio track. If you want to follow me on social media, you can follow me at The Nerd Chicano on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Letterboxd, Serialized, and TikTok. I'm the same handle on all of them. Let's talk about movies, y'all. I would love to talk to you all. Keep up to date with the Nerdcore by visiting us at thenerdcore.com, and then we're also on YouTube and Twitch under the Nerdcore. It's the same handle on both of those as well. But now that we're saying goodbye to this set, it means that we're going to continue on with some more videos during the week. But I'm going to be giving the sets a little bit of a break. I do have some other 4K titles that I need to get through, so I'm going to get through a couple of 4K titles here, and then I'm going to do a watch through the filmography of a director that I love, and then after that we're going to go ahead and look at another set. I'm going to take a little break from it, y'all. I love these sets, but also I want to just kind of diversify the content that we have here. Also, I want to get some room to actually pick up some more sets, so when that July Barnes & Noble sale comes, I can pick up something, maybe number 4 of this set, or maybe the Pasolini 101 set. But it's been fun, y'all. I loved the journey through Martin Scorsese's World Cinema Project. I know that I was disappointed with Downpour and also Dos Monjes, but when it came to the video presentation of these films, it worked. And it's a set that is worth buying if you're looking into expanding your taste in films, especially international films, but also if you want to see the extent of the work that the World Cinema Project puts in, this is a good set to pick up. But without further ado, to my wonderful cinephiles and renowned scholars, celebrate the love of cinema today, tomorrow, and every day after. Catch you all in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.